Pocky was first of the trio to be separated, and we made that decision solely based on the fact of her size. She was the only one that was not the same size as the rest of them. The other two are like the exact same length and weight, and she is just way younger and way smaller. Even though last time we separated them all, they did refuse to eat. I feel like it's best to try to get Pocky out first. We'll see how she does, how she eats, and how she handles it. I think she should be fine though, because she's been actually eating pretty well. And that little cave she's in is actually her favorite cave from the other enclosure. We actually put that one in specifically for her because of how small it is. So in her new setup, she has her mini cave, her calcium lick, her humidity hide, which she'll probably be using. We also have a soft bark log that she can fit inside of, a couple plants, a shedding log, a feeder dish, and a water dish. And under the tank, heat, so we use heating pads. So hopefully our little our little Pocky, sorry. With the three of them in there, it's hard to remember the names. With our little Pocky, I'm hoping, hold on honey, that she will adjust pretty well. I'm just going to introduce her to her humidity hide, because that's where she was when I took her out of the other enclosure. She was in the humidity hide because she's in shed, which is why she's so white. I just wanted to give everybody an update because I'm sure everybody was wondering about the trio. I know that we said we would be separating them slowly but surely, and initially we did want to separate Rona first because she is the healthiest eater and the biggest, but now that Pocky is eating so well, I changed my mind and made the decision to remove Pocky. Thank you, Raptor family. So I'm starting to handle our trio of girls that came in together. Misty, Rona, and Pocky, just due to the fact that they've been here for a couple weeks now. They're settled in. We've been observing them, watching their stools, and making sure they're eating well. They seem pretty healthy, and since they will be coming out of quarantine within a week or so, it's time to start getting them ready to be handled and used to people. When they're in quarantine, we do handle them, but not as much as we would if they are not in quarantine. So we just don't want them to come out of quarantine and just not be used to people at all. As you can see, they're very timid and shy. And I just don't want that. All of our leopard geckos are actually very friendly and nice. She seems like she's looking for food. So I think I might get out my tongs and see if she'll take some food really quick. Let's see if we can get her to eat something. I had a dish of mealworms ready just in case I thought they might want to eat. Here we go, Misty. That's that, baby. go. Well, I guess she just wants to investigate where she's at. Alright, baby. She is getting some yellows in. I think she's a white and yellow max now. I'm pretty sure that's what they said she was. With the trio, I know the morphs. I just don't remember who's what. In quarantine, like I said, I really don't get to know them too much. Just because I like to let them settle in. Make sure they're not sick. I don't want to handle them and possibly pass something off to my other reptiles. And I'm really extremely picky about that. And I have anxiety, so that doesn't play well into it either. It just makes me think that, oh my gosh, if I play with these guys, and even though I wash my hands in between everybody, after I handle anybody, it still scares me. I don't want anything to get on my hands or somebody to pass something that I don't see or can't wash off or anything like that. And I read so many horror stories and read so much about what could go wrong or what to look out for that I really take it to heart, almost to a fault. But in my mind, like, you could never be like too cautious. I just believe like proper preparation like prevents poor performance. So if you're preparing properly and you're doing everything you can to prevent something, then you're doing your best to take care of your reptiles. So Misty is actually pretty calm. I think she's one of the calmest out of the trio. She's not scared. She's more or less interested. Ain't that right, honey? You're interested. Yay! I think she's a pretty little girl. She's got some unique colors in her. I'm looking at her. She was in shed for a few days, so when that shed came off, some more colors showed up. A lot more yellows than I expected. She was more white and gray and black, and now she's got some yellows going on. Hockey does have some stuck shut on her. Let me see. So I think we'll run her a bath. Yeah, she needs a bath for sure. She got stuck shut on her toes, so we'll give her a nice soak. Let me get some water in. And the final girl of the trio is Rona, and she is a Murphy's patternless. I know that for sure. I know, like I just said, I know the worst of all three of them, but I can tell from looking at her that she's the Murphy's patternless of the group. I think that she's a gorgeous baby. I really like her. Rona is my sister Samantha's, and Pocky is mine, Kristen. And Misty is Summer, one of our daughters. And Rona is just, she's, as you can see, she's a really healthy eater, which is why, like I said, I wanted to separate her. But due to Pocky's size, I really just wanted to get her in her own spot. I just really didn't want to risk anything happening. I know the people we got them from kept them all housed together. Let's see if Rona will take something. You know, like I said, they were all housed together, but I don't trust it when they are such a difference in size. That's just concerning to me because she is so small. If we're not in the room, she could easily be harmed very quickly. And that's not something I'm willing to risk. She's not big enough to really fend off or protect herself when she's in an environment with 2 females that are almost twice as big as her. And I just don't think it's fair to leave her that way. We did try to separate them off rip, but she would not eat. She was so scared to be alone. And the second we put her in with the big girls that she was used to living with, she didn't eat right away. That was the only reason we would ever leave such a small baby in with the rest. It's like odd circumstances like that when we get them from somebody else. And not like our initial like decision, like let's just throw all these geckos into one enclosure. No, definitely not. We've had empty enclosures waiting to separate them, and right now we have Pocky separated, and we'll wait about a couple more days to see how obviously Pocky does and Rona and the other one does when they notice the other one is gone. If they're all doing well, then we will continue to separate. We'll give them some time, Pocky some time to settle into her new enclosure. I'm sure she'll do fine. She's already roaming around and checking everything out, and she seems pretty okay now. When she first got here, everything was new. Not just the enclosure, but the smells and the sounds and the people who fed her every day. Like, everything was different. So it was definitely a shock to her system. And now that they've been here enough and she's settled in and she's used to the smell of the reptar room and my sister and I and the kids and the dogs and all of that, she's definitely settled in quite well. I just love this little tail. Look at this tail. Yeah, Rona, you're a beautiful baby. I know Murphy's patternless are quite common, but I just think that she is such a beauty. I do like her so much. It was between her and Pocky, who I wanted, and my sister said, I really like this one, the Murphy's patternless, so I said, okay, you can have her, because I wasn't sure. We go back and forth on who gets first choice or dibs when it comes to like finding a pair or a couple of them together. And it always winds up like working out to where she likes the females and I like the males. It just happens that way. So I have pretty much all of the males and she has pretty much all of the females. I think the only female I do have of mine as a gecko is Pocky, and that's only because they came with 3 females instead of a female and a male. And does she have any male? No, she doesn't have any male geckos either, so it just happens that way. It wasn't planned, I swear. I just really liked Kilo and Ray Ray because it was so big, and Kakarot because he was just a chunky butt, and I loved the line down his back. And she liked fat girls, so it's just like, it's perfect. Like, I'll be like, which one do you want? And then she'll like say the girl's name, and I'll be like, oh, good, because I wanted the other one. And she'll say the girl's name like timidly, like all scared, like, I'm hoping that's not the one my sister wants, like to me. And then when they say no, I want the boy, she always winds up happy. So it just works out that way. I mean, of course, we all say, you know, this one's mine, but we raise them all together. We feed them all. We don't feed them separately. If we're in here caring, we're caring for all of them. So that's just how it is. The reason why I use this box for handling is A, I want them to get used to people picking them up and down, and B, I want them to get used to my scent and know that my scent is safe. So I put them down and they're still smelling me, and they know they're not being attacked and they're not scared. I go to pick them back up again. They know that that smell, that human is a safe person. That way, when they are in their environment and they smell me or my sister and we're going to pick them up, they know that we are safe. we've also started to do a noise indication of us picking them up from their enclosure and us feeding them, so that way they are alert and aware and it's not just us coming in. So we decided to, our indication noise is something similar to like, and that's just letting them know that a human's coming into your enclosure. So you go, and then immediately pick them up. And that just associates the noise with us, them, something's gonna happen, whether it be food or us picking you up. It's letting them know there's gonna be human interaction. I know some people like to do the just food noise, but we like to do it for both, like the food and us picking them up, just so that way our reptiles are not, especially our geckos, are not surprised. Oh, look at Pocky. Pocky was just eating some of her calcium. She's really liking her little place. So I got Pocky's enclosure right on my desk, so I'm handling it at my desk as well. And oh, look at Pocky's face. Can you see? She's got calcium on her nose. Hi, Pocky. I love my little babies. See how calm she is now? Now that she is calm, she's not running away, she's just hanging out, I will go ahead and put her back in her enclosure and go ahead and get Misty in a soak before I go to sleep, because I won't sleep well knowing one of my geckos has stuck shut on her toe. So good night, Repta family. Just like Rona, get some sleep.